Toni Martin neben mir, hallo.
Hi, grüß dich.
Giant hat ein 7,4 Kilo leichtes Kinderrennrad heute auf der Eurobike rausgebracht. Das ist natürlich sensationell. Und Toni, du machst viel mit Kindern, du hast eine eigene Jugendgruppe, die du betreust. Und warum ist das wichtig, ein spezielles Kinderrennrad zu haben?
Genau, ich bin häufig mit Nachwuchsfahrern unterwegs, ich unterstütze sie, bin auch ab und zu auf dem Radrennen unterwegs und dort kriegt man schon einen Eindruck, dass Kinder doch auch teilweise genötigt sind, aufgrund der fehlenden Kinderfahrräder auf dem Markt, dann wirklich auf Erwachsenenräder umzusteigen und dort einfach eine unmögliche Sitzposition teilweise einnehmen zu müssen, wo der Sattel dann immer noch zu hoch ist, obwohl er schon komplett auf dem Rahmen aufliegt, wo der Lenker viel zu hoch ist. Und das ist natürlich aus Performance-Sicht alles andere als optimal. Und deswegen freue ich mich sehr, dass Giant jetzt wirklich auch den Mut zusammengenommen hat und wirklich ein Kinderfahrrad von weißem Blatt her wirklich neu durchdacht hat, alles geometrisch und ergonomisch vor allem auf die Kinder ausgelegt hat und hier wirklich ein optimales Kinderfahrrad jetzt entwickelt hat.
Marcel Young neben mir, er hat das Rad entwickelt und übrigens auch ein leichtes Carbon-Laufrad. Und ich werde mit ihm kurze Details zum Rad durchgehen. Marcel, what's the difference from this bike to all the other kid race bikes that are on the market?
For sure. So with the Seek, we began with testing the riding geometry for children. And instead of taking any of the adult racing bikes that we've developed for so many years and just shrinking it down, we actually put all our kids into our Dynamic Cycling Fit rig. And instead of just adjusting for components, we actually figured out all of the fitting needs and the growth range needed for a kid to ride comfortably at a natural pace. So from there, we created the geometry you see today, the growth ranges, the crank length, and everything else about it.
So starting with the crank length, what's
Yes.
the crank length at this bike? I mean, you're the manufacturer, you can
Yes.
do it yourself.
Well,
essentially.
we're not at the point of making cranks, but we have partners who are very willing to help us with whatever our needs are. And so in this case, we figured out that 130 is the sweet spot for kids of that age to be able to pedal very naturally without feeling like the crank is pushing them up every single time and messing with their balance. And so we're able to work with our crank partners and very quickly come up with a solution that fits our needs.
What about the handlebars?
The handlebars was a very tough one. I think handlebars is the heart of handling for the entire bike. So starting from the rider, we started with their shoulder width to get to how wide the bar should be, but then what kind of handling characteristics we wanted to give the bike. Incidentally, this is a bike for whom kids usually ride a 24-inch wheels, but we've gone much bigger wheels, so everything about the cockpit to the fork, even the offset, all had to be reconsidered. So based on that, we figured out stem length, handlebar width, to get the right handling characteristics. Still very nimble, snappy, but stable at high speed.
Yeah.
And that part we were very good at.
So speaking of weight, that's really sensational, 7.4 kilo for the lightest model. How many
Yes.
models do you have and what's the weight in the models? How did you achieve it?
Ah, yes. So the 7.4 kilo, we have two spec levels. The higher level is the one that is the 7.4 kilograms. And we are able to achieve that with our lightest weight aluminum frame, carbon fork, carbon seat post, still alloy cockpit, but SLR1 carbon fiber wheel system. And that is the same wheel system that is used on our TCR today. For kids of this age range, we know statistically there is no significant difference between men and women in terms of the body proportions. The kids' growth spurt is introducing bigger differences than just boy-girl difference. So as long as we build for kids' growth, that covers the gender difference, no problem. So the funny thing is, I did not decide any of these colors. My kids did.
Okay.
I have one daughter and one son, and especially the Liv bike you see over there with the black chrome frame and the hot pink fork, that was my daughter's choice. So I'm not the best judge of color, but I have people who are experts.
Yeah, reminds me a little bit of the Team Telekom design
Kind
years
of.
ago.
Yes.
That was also a giant bike someday, I think.
Yes.
But I think ergonomic is key at this.
That is
project
always
also.
consistent.
Not only the weight figure is of course sensational, but I
Yes.
think ergonomic is really key at kids' bikes. So
Absolutely. It gives them the control that they need. And what we have learned is as the kid gains confidence in controlling the bike, then they can go at speed. And that's when the fun begins.
yes, thank you for talking to us.
Oh, thank you.
Ich hoffe, das Video hat euch gefallen und wenn euch das Video gefallen hat, lasst gerne einen Daumen da und es kommen noch mehr Videos hier von der Eurobike.